Good evening and Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. I hope I am properly audible and visible to everyone. Good evening. Good evening. So, last day, I think I have given you 3 questions which were with respect to nuclear power states. And yes, many of you have given the correct answer. Okay, that what are the nuclear power states, and at the same time, like if we talk about this nuclear supplier groups, how many members are there? So this was quite much there in the news, and right now even that question was there with respect to who have got this Nobel Prize. So that was also correct. All of you have given that answer very much correctly, that yes, who has got this Nobel Prize and for what initiative. Okay, so that is a good thing. Note down that also whenever you are reading it, it's not simply that you have to comment on it or you have to just know about it. You have to write it in your copy. I am going to give you those topics or those things which might be coming in your prelims examination. So that is also one of the way for you to research upon some topic, know about some topic. This year there has been a lot of discussion about nuclear non-proliferation, and that's why these things are quite much important. The NSG also, the NPT also, the persons or the organization which has got this nuclear prize, and at the same time nuclear powered states of the world. Okay. Now in today's session, what topics which we are going to see? The topics are, first thing is, there is this word. Okay, this is Constitution Day also. Today we have 26th of November. So it is our Constitution Day, and in that respect itself, we have this one topic, secular and socialist, these two keywords in the preamble. So how they have been added and what is the recent judgment of a recent order of Supreme Court with respect to these two words, that is something which we are going to see. Second thing is, we are going to see about this 75 years of Constitution, some of the basic things about our Constitution. The third thing which we are going to talk about is one of the observatories in Ladakh, the Mace Observatory in Ladakh. This is a very important topic, and we will try to understand how it is going to work. The fourth thing, there is a place in the news, Gelefu. There is a place in the news called as Gelefu. So this is one of the important city lying adjacent to borders of India. This is not there in India. It is belonging, it is like on the border of India, a city in another country, and it is getting all the limelight in the world right now. Okay, and then we will also see about this one term, new collective quantified goal. In terms of COP29, you might have heard about this topic. Okay, so yes, so let's start today's session first with some questions. So the question goes like this: which of the following statement is not correct with respect to Large Hadron Collider? Here again we are covering the topics of March 2024. Okay. These will be the last few questions of March 24. From tomorrow onwards, we will see the topics with respect to April 2024. Okay. So see this topic. Which of the following statement is not correct with respect to Large Hadron Collider? It is responsible for discovery of Higgs boson particle. It accelerates the electron at very high speed under magnetic influence. It aims to study about dark matter and antimatter. And fourth is, India is not a full-time member of this experiment. India is not a full-time member of this experiment. So there are 4 statements. You have to identify which one is the incorrect one. Which one is the incorrect one? This question is going to be a little bit tough, but I think you can answer this question quite easily. Like you can see here, this is saying which of the following is not correct with respect to Large Hadron Collider. I have chosen those topics or those statements which can be helpful for you in the examination. So what will be the answer here? I've got one answer as option D from Harshit, one option as C from Ajay. Okay, tough question. You all know about this Large Hadron Collider. If I give you some information about this, it is located at Swiss-French border. It is located at Swiss-French border. Okay. It is extended over an area of near about 27 kilometer. So, like this Hadron Collider, it is extended over an area of nearly 27 kilometer. So, a few answer as option D, A, C, B also. So tell me about this one. What will be the correct answer? Aditya. So sorry, Aditya. Okay, I think maximum people have gone for option D or option C. A few answer as option A also and B also, right? See, if you look at this, India is not a full-time member of this experiment. This is a correct statement. India is an associate member. India has become an associate member of this in 2016. In 2016, India has become an associate member. India is not a full-time member of this group. Okay. So even now, India is not a full-time member. So this D option is not incorrect. Second is saying it aims to study about dark matter and antimatter. This is also correct. This is also correct. It aims to study about the dark matter and antimatter. That is also a correct statement. The first one is saying it is responsible for discovery of Higgs boson particle. Yes, in 2013, it has got this discovery of Higgs boson particle. After that, we have seen Peter Higgs. He has also been awarded this Nobel Prize. Okay, so this option here is correct. The one option which is incorrect is about this one. When we talk about the Large Hadron Collider, hadron simply means that there will be acceleration of protons or ions. So it is not about electrons. It is the difference here. It is not about the electrons. It is about the protons or the ions which are there. So this Large Hadron Collider is talking about the acceleration of protons or ions at very high speed under the magnetic influence. So this option B is the incorrect one. This will be our answer. This will be our answer, option B here. Okay. Now, coming to the second question, which of the following statement is not correct with respect to prototype fast breeder reactors? Which of the following statement is not correct with respect to prototype fast breeder reactors? It produces more nuclear fuel than it consumes. It will use the uranium-plutonium mixed oxide. It uses liquid sodium as a coolant. And the waste generated is higher as compared to traditional nuclear reactors. So it produces more nuclear fuel than it consumes. Second is saying it will use uranium-plutonium mixed oxide fuel. It is also saying it uses liquid sodium as a coolant. And fourth is saying the waste generation is higher as compared to traditional nuclear reactors. So question number 2. Question number 2, what will be the answer? Question number 2, what will be the answer? No answer coming up. Is it a tough one? Okay. One answer is option C, one option D. So today we are having lesser number of answers. Option B also, C also, D also. Anything else? I think majority of people are going for option C. Okay, Ajay, ask this question at the end of the session. I will come back to this question. थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. ठीक. It produces more nuclear fuel than it consumes. इसमें तो किसी को डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. Second statement says that it will use the uranium plutonium mixed oxide. Yes, it is going to use the mix of uranium and plutonium oxide at the beginning. So initial जो है वो it will be uranium plutonium mixed oxide. Okay. Third is saying it uses liquid sodium as a coolant. So this is a correct statement. This is also a correct statement that it is going to use liquid sodium as a coolant. Okay. And then the fourth option which is there, the waste generation is higher. No, it will be lower. Why it will be lower? Because it is converting it into a fuel category. Okay. So it is producing more fuel than it consumes. So the waste product of this fast breeder reactor is actually the fuel for this reactor. So it is not releasing huge amount of waste material. Waste generation is here on the lower side. It produces the fuel. It produces the, like, its byproduct is the fuel which can be used again by this reactor. So here this D option is the incorrect one. Here this will be the answer. This will be the answer. Okay. So answer is D option. One more question. Recently, Garbhini was developed by Department of Biotechnology. Recently, Garbhini was developed by Department of Biotechnology. It aims to track the nutritional profile of pregnant women, estimate the age of fetus in second and third trimester, track the infant and maternal mortality rates in India, direct benefit transfer scheme for pregnant women. So you have four options. Garbhini is a AI tool. This is a AI tool. What you have to tell is that why it has been developed. It has been developed by the Department of Biotechnology. Okay. This is developed by Department of Biotechnology. You have to tell me about the aim of this one. Question number 3. What will be the answer? What will be the answer in this question? One answer which I have got is option D. Anyone else? This is an AI tool which has been developed by Department of Biotechnology. So this is one important topic. This is one important topic for your examination. One answer is A, one answer is D. So today we have got the tough questions. One answer is C also. Okay, A, C and D. Anyone going for option B? I have got answers with A, C, D. Why are you leaving B option? See, this Garbhini INI, okay, this Garbhini INI, it is a AI tool which has been developed with the aim of estimating the age of fetus in second and third trimester. Okay, so this is the aim of this Garbhini tool. Okay, it aims to estimate the correct age, estimate the actual age of fetus in second and third trimester. Second and third trimester. Okay, so that the doctors can look at the nutritional profile of the children, so that doctors can be aware about the nutritional profile of the children. They can see that what is the growth and development of the child. Okay, so this has been developed according to the Indian population. Developed according to Indian population. Developed according to Indian population. According to Indian population. Okay. So this Garbhini AI tool or the Garbhini tool has been developed for estimating the age of the fetus in the second and third trimester. Okay. So since it has been launched by the Department of Biotechnology, this becomes an important tool. This becomes an important news article also. It was covered in PIB and other news articles. So you should be aware about this. Okay. You should be aware about this, that the answer here will be B, estimate the age of fetus in second and third trimester. Okay. So today 3 questions. How many of you were correct? 3 tough questions for today. Okay. Do one thing I have been telling you from the day one, that the science questions which we are discussing in the classes in the form of question, make a short notes for them. Do not go by the PDF, do not go by anything, make a short notes of them. You won't need anything else for revision of science and technology. If you have covered the topics which we are covering in this manner, for science tech, for later on for environment and for economy, you will not need any other source to refer to for the current affairs for prelims 2025. Okay. Fetus is like the child which is there, the unborn child which is there in the uterus. That is called as fetus. The unborn child is called as the fetus. This is the unborn child which is there in the Yadav. There is already current affairs in Hindi which will start at 6 p.m. Okay. Now see, so these were the questions which are there. Now coming to this part, secular and socialist, which has been added in our preamble by the 42nd constitutional amendment. Okay. Like you can see the preamble, I think today there is a initiative by the government also that you have to read the preamble of India. So I hope some of you might have read the preamble. Okay. Some of you might have read the preamble. So this is like, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens liberty, justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Okay, this is the text of preamble, and then it's written in our constituent assembly this 26th day of November 1949 do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this constitution. So this is our preamble. in the beginning, the words like socialist and secular were not added to the preamble. They were not part of the preamble. But what we see that they were added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. So recently there was a writ petition. And it said that this addition of socialist and secular to the preamble is not right. It is not valid. Okay. So on that basis, what we have seen, Supreme Court has dismissed the petition which had challenged the constitutional validity of this 42nd Amendment Act, which added this socialist and secular word to our constitution. Okay. Now see, there is no existing thought to eradicate the secular word. Yes, there is no such thing. Like, that's why we are discussing this. What Supreme Court has said, okay, a bench of Chief Justice, he said that Parliament's power under Article 368 to amend the Constitution also extends to the preamble. So first thing is, Parliament under Article 368 is empowered to amend the preamble also. Preamble is a part of the Constitution, and under Article 368 of the Constitution, the Parliament is empowered to amend the preamble also. Okay. Words could not have been added retrospectively is what was the demand of the petitioner. He was saying that preamble was finalized on 26th November 1949. So you cannot add a word retrospectively in the preamble. You cannot add a word retrospectively in the preamble. Okay. So since preamble is something which was passed in 1949, you cannot add something to that. So that was the argument of the petitioner. So what did the Supreme Court say? Supreme Court said that if we talk about this, if we go by this, that you cannot add something retrospectively, then there can be no amendment in the Constitution. Supreme Court said that if you go by this logic, that there cannot be addition of these words in the preamble, then by this logic there can be no amendment to the Constitution. But you know that in our Constitution there is Article 368, which was again finalized by the Constituent Assembly, which said that the Parliament of the country will have the power to make change in the Constitution. So this power of amending the Constitution has been given by the Constituent Assembly itself. So they can amend any part of it, that is allowed. Okay. So what Supreme Court has said, in 1949, this term secular was considered imprecise, as some scholars and jurists had interpreted it as being opposed to religion. So Supreme Court said that at that time the constitution makers were not adding this term secular because it means you are opposed to religion. You are opposed to religion. But what we have seen that India has interpreted secularism or the word secular in its own way. There is a difference between the secularism of the West and the secularism of India. In the Western world, in the Western democracies, the secular word means that you have to be totally away from the religion. But in India, secular means principled distance with the religions. Means we are not favoring anyone, we are not harming anyone. So what we see that India has developed its own interpretation of secularism, wherein the state neither supports any religion nor penalizes the profession and practice of any faith. Okay. So we are neither promoting anything nor we are like harming any religion or penalizing any religion. Okay. At the same time, like this principle is enshrined in Article 14, 15 and 16 of the Constitution. So there is already the various tenets of secularism present in the Indian Constitution. Even like the Article 25, 26 and all other are part of it. But what we see that there is no penalization or no promotion of any such religion in India. Article 14 says that everyone will have the same equality before the law, irrespective of religion, faith, caste, gender, or anything. Okay. So this is one thing. There is equality in India, irrespective of religion. So our secularism is not like we are away from the religion. Our secularism is like we are neither promoting nor we are penalizing it. Okay. Then on the challenge to the word socialism, there was a challenge to this word socialism also. Supreme Court said that it should not be interpreted as restricting the economic policies of elected government. Okay. So petitioner was saying that socialism word is not fit for India. The petitioner was saying that the socialism word is not fit for India because government is no longer working in that manner. India is no longer that country which follows socialism in that traditional context. So what did the Supreme Court say? That it is not restricting the economic policies of elected government of people's choice. Rather, socialist denotes the state's commitment to be a welfare state. So the socialist is not that there is any restriction on the government policy. Rather than that, socialist here means that government is committed towards a welfare state. So it is not a restriction, but rather than an encouragement of going towards a welfare state. So do remember these two terms. First thing is secularism in Indian context is not simply like the Western secularism where we simply move away from all the religions. No, it is not opposed to the religion. In India, it is like we are neither opposing any religion nor we are penalizing or restricting the profession of any of the faith, the practice of any of the faith. Okay. So that is one thing which has been told by Supreme Court in this order. Supreme Court has said that the word socialist and secular will remain part of the Indian preamble. There is no question regarding this. So that petition for removing these words has been declared that now this petition is dismissed. Okay. So that petition has been dismissed and Supreme Court has said that secular and socialist are integral part of the preamble. So that is a recent order of Supreme Court with respect to preamble. And it has come just last day on 25th of November and today is 26th, the Constitution Day. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. Equal protection of religion, that is Indian secularism. Okay. Now, there is another thing. I will ask you now this question. So, there is 75 years of Indian Constitution. 75 years of Indian Constitution. So tell me, what do you know about the Indian Constitution? Tell me about this. Open to all of you. What do you know about the Indian Constitution? No, percentage in graduation is not necessary for UPSC. Only passing certificate is required. Okay. Tell me this part. What do you know about the Indian Constitution? This is open to all. What do you know about Indian Constitution? I am not telling anything in this. I am asking you, what do you know about the Indian Constitution? All of you have read polity, you have read other subjects also. So tell me, what do you know about Indian Constitution? A social reform document. Okay. Largest written constitution of world. Okay. Anything else? Everything which you know about this constitution. You all have to give 4-5 points about constitution. What is there in Indian Constitution? You all might have like known about these things, that it is when it was drafted in 1949, 26th November 1949. This was the time when we have got our constitution. Okay, we have got our constitution on this day. If we look at this, it was called as longest written constitution at that time. Longest written constitution. DPSP, okay, quasi federal in nature, or you can say India has its own type of federalism. We cannot say that it is quasi federal, it is it is a not a federal country, or it is a unitary country. India has its own federalism. Okay, tell me about Indian Constitution. What more do you know about this? Today is Constitution Day. Today is the Constitution Day. You have to know something about it. 12 schedules, 365 articles. No, articles have changed. At that time also we have got 395 articles. Now we see that we have more than 470 plus articles. Okay. So yes, we see that we have got 470 plus articles. We have got 12 schedules in this. 12 schedules in this. Okay. 22 schedules? No. Not 22 schedules. Article where, yes, article where 395, schedule 12, 22 parts. No, getting confused. Schedules are 12. If you look at India's Constitution, 12 schedules are there. 12 schedules. You can remember them as this. Okay. This is talking about territory. This is talking about emoluments. Means salary. This is talking about oath and affirmation. Oath and affirmation. This is talking about Rajya Sabha seat. Rajya Sabha seats. Then this is talking about scheduled areas. Other scheduled areas. Other scheduled areas. This is talking about federalism, or here you will find that union, state and concurrent list. And concurrent list. That is part of this F1. Here this one, official language. Official language. Then this L, land reform legislation. Land reform legislations. Earlier it was only land reform legislation. Later on it was simply legislation with judicial immunity. With judicial immunity. That is 9th schedule. Then this 10th is anti-defection. Anti-defection. That is 10th schedule. Then here we have panchayats. On this side we have the panchayats, and here we have municipality. Municipality. Okay. So these are the 12 schedules, tiers of old PM. It is simply like fears of old PM. So you can memorize all these 12 schedules from this: territories, emoluments or salary, oath and affirmation, Rajya Sabha seats. Then we have this scheduled areas, other scheduled areas, then federalism, union state concurrent list. Then we have got this official language, legislation with judicial immunity, anti-defection, and here we have this panchayats as well as municipalities. Okay, so these are the 12 schedules of Indian Constitution. Okay, yes. So what you have to do, I am not teaching you this topic. I am asking questions on this topic. Read about this, read about the Constitution of India, and every one of you have to write 5 lines or 5 informations with respect to Constitution of India. So that will be your task for the day. Read about the Constitution of India. Read things about it, that in how many days it was completed, how many days it was completed, how many members of the Constituent Assembly were there, how they were elected, was there a direct election or an indirect election. Then read about this also, that what are the basics parts of this Constitution. Okay, so that will be task for you. Lengthiest written constitution, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, federal structure with unitary bias, parliamentary system, fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSPs, amendability. Okay, so yes, these are the points all of you have to write. You have to find something about the Indian Constitution and you have to write it. Okay, so this is Constitution Day. You have to write something about Constitution today. Now, coming to today's topic, there is one topic which we have to see, and that is about maize in Ladakh. This topic we are going to see because we have to understand this. Constitution, you have to read, you have to tell me. Okay, so that is Constitution task for you. Now, there is this one topic, maize in Ladakh. So, maize is the major atmospheric Cherenkov experiment. This is a major atmospheric Cherenkov experiment. So what is this? Let us try to understand this. This is a telescope. This is a telescope which has been established in Ladakh, in Hanle in Ladakh. Okay. It is a gamma ray telescope. It is a gamma ray telescope which has been inaugurated in Hanle in Ladakh. There is also a dark sky observatory over there. There is also a dark sky observatory over there. Dark sky reserve is also there. This is different. This is different. A new telescope, a MACE telescope, has been established in Hanle in Ladakh. So what is the aim? It is a gamma ray telescope. Okay. It is a gamma ray telescope located at around 4.3 kilometers above the sea level. Okay. It is the highest imaging Cherenkov telescope in the world. Okay. It has got a 21-meter wide dish, which is largest in kind of Asia and second largest in the world. Okay. So what is the aim? Let us try to understand this. A MACE telescope has been established in Ladakh. What region? What it will do? Let us try to understand that. Okay. See, first thing is you have to know about the gamma rays. These gamma rays, if you look at them, they are highly powered. Out of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, this is the most powerful electromagnetic radiation. It is the most powerful EM radiation. You might have heard about ultraviolet rays. You might have heard about X-rays. So when you compare this, you have the visible light through which you are able to see something. Then you have ultraviolet light, which is very much powerful, which can burn our skin, which can cause skin cancer also. X-rays. X-rays are those rays which can pass through majority of our body. other than the bones, it can pass through most of the part of our body. So that is X-ray. And even more powerful than that, we have the gamma radiations. It can pass entirely through our body. Not even the bones will be able to stop this. That is gamma ray radiation. It is very much powerful radiation. It is destructive in nature. It is destructive in nature. But when the gamma rays are emitted by the sun, they are not reaching to us. They are not reaching to Earth's surface. Why they are not reaching to Earth's surface? They are reflected back, or they are deflected back by the upper atmosphere itself. Okay. Upper atmosphere prevents their entry, prevents the entry of gamma rays. See this very much carefully. First, we have seen what is a gamma ray. Gamma ray is the highest, most powerful electromagnetic radiation. It is highly destructive. But they are not reaching the Earth's surface. If they reach the Earth's surface, it will be catastrophic, means very much harmful for the humans and all other living organisms. But it is not reaching to us. Why not reaching? It is prevented by the upper atmosphere. Means from the upper atmosphere itself, they are returning back. They are not coming to the surface of Earth. So how do we study them? We study them mostly through the space-based telescopes. Those telescopes which are there in the space above our atmosphere. We are able to study the gamma radiations by those telescopes which are outside this atmosphere, which are there in space. If it is done outside the space, so why we have got a gamma ray telescope in Ladakh? Why we have got this gamma ray telescope in Ladakh? You see that majority of the telescopes which study the gamma radiations, they are there in the space. But we have got one such gamma ray telescope in Ladakh at a height of near about 4,300 kilometer, 4.3 kilometer or 4,300 meter. So why? What is the process? How it will work? Let us try to understand that. See, first thing, how it will work? Let's see this process. The first part is, when the gamma ray enters the atmosphere, when the gamma ray is coming to our atmosphere, most of it is going to return back, or it is going to be prevented by the upper atmosphere. But it will interact with the molecules in the air. The molecules of the air in the upper atmosphere, it is going to interact with them. It is going to interact with those air particles in the atmosphere. Then what will happen? This will produce a shower of electron-positron pairs. It will create, or it will separate the air particles into electrons and positrons. It will separate the air particles into electrons and positron particles. Not proton, electron and positron particles. Then what will happen? Then charged particles, these charged particles, electron and positron, they will be traveling at a speed of near about the speed of light. First, these gamma rays have entered the Earth's atmosphere. They are going to interact with the particles in the air. With their interaction, now the particles will be converted into electrons and positrons, and they will move at a speed equal to the speed of light. Now, due to this, what we see that due to their speed, they are going to emit a faint blue light, which is called as Cherenkov radiation. these moving electrons and positrons, they are going to create a very faint blue color light, which is called as Cherenkov radiation. Now, this light is emitted about a fraction of a second. They are emitted in a fraction of second. So we cannot observe them simply by our eyes, but telescopes can observe them. Okay. So they are emitted in about a fraction of a second, and the light particles, they spread out evenly over a vast areas. They are spreading over a large areas. So what is going to be done? This region is suitable place to locate a detector that can collect the photons. Means the light particles, you know that light is made up of photons. So here what is going to happen? The light particles are spreading over large areas. Those light particles or photons, that is going to be collected by the telescopes. Means they will be able to view this. Collection here doesn't mean that they will collect it and store it in bag. No. Here collection means they will be able to observe the photons which are there in the atmosphere. Okay. And then after that, study them indirectly to understand the gamma ray. Okay. So these telescopes which are there, MACE is a type of telescope which is called as Imaging Atmospheric Cherenkov Telescope. It is called as Imaging Atmospheric Cherenkov Telescope. So MACE in our Ladakh is a type of IACT telescope or Imaging Atmospheric Cherenkov Telescope. So what it is going to do? It is going to study the gamma radiation, but not directly. It is going to do an indirect study of gamma radiation. How it will work? Gamma radiation will come in atmosphere. It will interact with the molecules of the air. Due to the interaction, molecules will split into electrons and positrons. They will be moving at a very high speed, nearly equal to the speed of light. These electrons and positrons, they are going to emit a faint blue color light for a fraction of second. This light is going to be distributed over a large area, and that's why we are having telescopes like these which can observe these photons in our atmosphere. Why choosing the Ladakh region? Why we have chosen this Ladakh region? It is at a height of near about 4,630 meters above the sea level. So it will be free from most of the atmospheric disturbances. Most of the atmospheric disturbances or tropospheric disturbances are for a few kilometers. For a 1-2 kilometers, most of the disturbances are there. But at a distance of 4 kilometers, they will be free from most of the atmospheric disturbances, and hence they will be able to see this part of gamma radiations indirectly. So that is the aim of MACE telescope in Ladakh. Okay. Positron is considered as opposite of electron. Positron is a particle which has charge equal to the electron but opposite. If electron has got a negative charge, positron has got a positive charge. Also, the mass of electron is equal to the mass of positron. Okay. So mass of electron is not equal to mass of proton. Proton is heavier, but electron has a opposite matter, a antimatter, that is called as positron. So antimatter of electron is called as positron. Clear? So this is the MACE telescope for indirect study of gamma radiations in Ladakh. Indirect study of gamma radiations in Ladakh. That is the aim of this MACE telescope. So this is also a scientific a science tech related concept. I hope it is clear. Okay. So that is MACE telescope. I have also made the process of this so that you can understand how it is going to work. Okay. Now coming to the next part, there is one thing called as this place. Okay, so this is Bhutan. This area is Bhutan, and there is a place in news, Gelefu. There is a place which is there in the news called as Gelefu. Okay, so this is a town in Sarpang district in Bhutan. You can see this is the border of Assam, and here you have a city just near the border of Bhutan. It is called as Gelefu. Okay, so it is 30 kilometers east of Sarpang Jongkhag. Okay, Sarpang Jongkhag. It is at a distance of 30 kilometers to that, means it is nearby Indian border. Okay. What we see that, what is this project? It is a development project in Bhutan which is aiming to have a carbon neutral city. Okay. It is also trying to create a carbon neutral city. It has been called as mindfulness city. Mindfulness city. Means it is going to be based on the concept of Buddhism also. It is also going to be based on the concept of Buddhism, sustainability and all other things. And they are trying to have a deal or investment from India, and they have consulted one company for that, the company being Adani Enterprises. Okay. So they have consulted Adani Enterprises for construction of the airports over there, renewable energy in this city of Gelefu, and even other companies of India, but one of the notable name is Adani Enterprises. Okay. So they have been seeking investment from different companies of India in the Gelefu city, Okay. So this is going to be a mindfulness city. If you look at this, it aims to create a sustainable carbon neutral city that is a health and wellness hub and investment destination. So it should be a hub of health, it should be a hub of wellness, it should also be a hub of investment. Okay. At the same time, zero emission industries will be there, special administrative regions will be there, and the government of India has agreed to build a railway line that will connect it to various border trading points also. So Indian government is also providing the infrastructure help. Companies of India are also investing in this Gelefu city project. Okay. So a smart, sustainable, mindfulness city which is eco-friendly, carbon neutral is going to be established in Bhutan. This is the location of the Gelefu city. Okay. Now, so that is one place which is there in the news. There is also a term which was there in the news. New collective quantified goal. New collective quantified goal. One such term which could not be realized. There was a huge aspiration among various nations that maybe this time we are going to have a much higher commitments from the developed nations. Like we have seen that for a very long period of time, there is one thing which has been there in climate change related negotiation, and that is funding. Okay. That is funding. So right now, what is the agreement? The agreement is of having $100 billion. That agreement right now is that $100 billion annually to be provided by developed nations. So this is the present commitment. The present commitment. Present commitment. Now, a new thing was being done, new collective quantified goal. So it was mainly about changing this $100 billion to a much higher number. It was said that it can go up to $300 billion. It can go up to $300 billion, but this remained an unaddressed expectation of the small island developing states, the developing countries. Nothing was finalized in COP29 with respect to this. So what is this? It is a new global climate finance goal that the Conference of Parties of Paris Agreement shall set a floor of USD 100 billion per year prior to 2025. Okay, means a floor rate means minimum of $100 billion will be there, and then after that there will be more donations from the developed states. So this new collective quantified goal was mainly about upgrading the financial donations or the financial commitments of developed nations. Okay, so it was about enhancing the financial commitments by developed nations. The aim was very simple, that on a minimum level, the floor price will be $100 billion. The countries have not been able to reach even $100 billion by now. So the main thing was to have $100 billion before 2025 as the floor level. After that, there can be some new deals about it. There can be some new agreements on enhancing this level. So that new term was given this name, new collective quantified goal. Okay. The new collective quantified goal is more about climate financing. It is about the goal set by the developing nations in the backdrop of this COP of Paris Agreement. Okay. So that was the aim of this new collective quantified goal. But what happened? Nothing. There was no deal, no agreement with respect to that. It has again been moved to the new year. There has been no major announcement, no major deals for COP29. It remained simply as a meeting which goes on year by year without any substantial change in the global policy on environment. Okay. So that is about this new collective quantified goal. Your task for the day, 5 lines about Indian Constitution. That is your target for the day. 5 lines about Indian Constitution. That is going to be your target. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time, 5 to 6, for new current affair topic and also with new questions of science and technology. Okay. So that will be all for this session. We will meet again at 7 p.m. We will meet again at 7 p.m. in the answer writing session. Okay. In the answer writing session. And see, last day I have given you simple question. I have also told you how to identify the demand of the question, but the copies which I have received, they are far away from the demand of the question, especially in one question. Okay. So let's see about that question also. Let's meet at this. Yes, what was your question? International Maritime Organization ने 65 डिग्री से 78 इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम. Okay, Ajay, let me see about this topic. I have not seen this topic. Let me see about this topic, that what it is all about, and then I will tell you about this in tomorrow's session. Okay, International Maritime Organization. Okay, I will see about this topic. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time to discuss the further things. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.